Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Keenan Hudson, and I believe in the youth. I have a quick message for the youth, but first I must introduce this lady that's right next beside me, Miss Christine Feggans. This lady is a life coach. She is an extreme phenomenon. She is an economic development commissioner.
Amen.
Okay? I'm talking about like she really has a lot to offer. And what she's about to share with you is about peer pressure and a lot of things that I'm going to elaborate on. We're going to tag team. But I really want you to hear the story that she wants to share with you guys. I'm telling you, she's a life coach. These things that she's going to say is going to relate to the men and the women, the boys and the girls.
Absolutely.
And trust me, the words that's going to be shared by her are really going to be a life-changing experience. So please give it up to Miss Christine Feggans. Thank you for coming to
Welcome.
Share with the youth. And I'd like you to just elaborate and give us a little bit who you are and then explain some of the things you were talking about as far as with peer pressure. Please do so.
I'm Christine Feggans, as he said. I am a life coach, and I'm here to encourage the young people to know that you are worth everything. I want to encourage you. It's about you, and knowing that your foundation should be empowered. And that's what we're here today to do, to empower you so that you may be all that you can be. My story starts in Philadelphia when I was a young girl at 9 years old. Peer pressure is your friends, those around you who pour into your life. Well, one time I did have a friend who was one who wanted me to go to her grandfather's house. I was always taught you don't go over nobody's house. Wow. But I went with her because I didn't want to look like, I was a punk. I didn't, so I went with her and I followed her to her grandfather's house, which there was a lot of children there. And he allowed the kids just to hang at his house and all. So I went to talk to Grandpa, her grandfather, because I thought he was like my grandfather, who was a loving grandfather. But what happened was I was molested at that time. And he used her, his granddaughter, to bring me and bring other children to his home. So, you got to watch out who you're following. You have to watch out who you trust. Wow. And she was one that, she was my friend and I trust her, but did not know that adult was using her to bring the children so that he can molest them. Wow. Be encouraged today that you have the power to make a decision who you hang around, who you trust. We make that decision.
Wow. So you just mentioned a good point concerning peer pressure. Because a lot of times as youth, we want to be accepted. We want to be accepted by people, that really could care less about us.
Yes.
But you had a friend.
Yes.
A friend that was trying to convince you, hey, come over here.
Yes.
Do this, do that.
Yes.
But little did you know, naive did you know, that there was something evil lurking.
Yeah, absolutely. Evil was lurking. That's the proper thing to say.
But, however, I'm quite sure you were taught not to go over a stranger's house.
Yes.
Without permission, correct?
That's right. Without permission.
And I'm quite sure to the youth, a lot of people probably mention that to you. Don't just go over anybody's house. Don't hang out with certain friends. It's for a reason.
It's for a reason.
And she just shared that. Out of many stories, I know that she can tell. And I like you to share the testimony that you went through on the street corners. Because don't get it twisted. Just because she has those titles as a commissioner, over counties, New Jersey, et cetera, she been through something.
Absolutely.
She has a strong testimony now. Even though she's a life coach, she helps a lot of people. She was president of organizations. A lot of things, was bestowed in this black woman here.
Amen.
And I would like her to share some of the testimonies that she had on street corners, et cetera, et cetera. Please.
Well, let me share this testimony. At the age of 12, I had a friend who, back in the day, we used to plait the guy's hair, and they wanted to wear the bush like today. And they wanted to blow it out, so they asked the young girls to plait their hair. So one of my friends was asking me to come and plait his hair. So I said, okay, let me get permission from my mom again, because I'm a young teenager. And as we were talking, two other teenagers joined us and asked him where was he from. He said, I'm not from anywhere. They said, yeah, you from somewhere. We should cap on you now. Back then, when they say we should cap on you, means we should shoot you. So I remember my friend saying, Christine, run. But I couldn't move. And a young man came up to me, and he put the gun up to my head and pulled the trigger.
Wow.
And at the same time, he turned the gun around and shot my friend 5 times. Today, he still lives and gives his testimony. But that was something we deal with. When you're trying to just be a teenager, trying to just hang out with your friends, trying to enjoy yourself, sometimes there are others who don't want you to enjoy life, who don't want the best for you. So you have to watch your surroundings and trust that God has a plan for you as well.
Yes, yes. And I can definitely, say that even from that experience, she's relating, especially to the young women that's out there, even to the men, can also relate. And like I said, like even from my experience, especially with the peer pressures, I know what it's like also, to feel like, hey, if I don't do X, Y, Z, these people are not going to like me. I'm not going to be able to fit in. If not, I'm not going to be popular like the other kids, et cetera, et cetera. Amen. But little do you know that the consequences for your actions costs a lot.
Yes. Yes.
It's easy to get in trouble, but hard to get out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very easy. Especially being young and naive. Because there was a time when I was young and naive. And I just thought I knew. But didn't know anything. And it's okay not to know. And one major point that we want to convey is parents not only tell your children, don't go out there, don't do this, don't hang with that person, but explain why.
Absolutely.
Why?
Why don't do it?
Why?
Absolutely.
And you may have a testimony on your own that you can share with your children, but you don't want them to know. However, they should know.
Yes.
I say they gotta know everything, but they should know what happened to you.
Absolutely.
So that they may feel bad and may not turn around and do the things that you did or have the soft behind that you had.
Yes. The soft behind. Yes. That's real.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's real.
So these are some of the things that we really have to take into account. Just by listening to some of her stories there, it just says a lot.
Absolutely.
Says a lot. The Lord spared her life when the guy held the gun to her head.
Yes, trigger pulled. It was pulled.
It was pulled. So I'll say that to say this, that when dealing with this peer pressure, we have to learn to turn and walk away. We have to know that the most popular kids, that's saying that, to do the wrong things. First of all, if anybody telling you to do any type of wrong, you're supposed to turn your back on them.
Yes.
You're supposed to turn your back on anybody telling you to do some type of wrong. But me, I thought it was cool. Everybody else was doing it, getting away with it. And I told you before what it costed me. Almost 15 years of my life in prison.
Absolutely.
So reconsider. I always say reconsider. Transform your mind.
Yes, absolutely.
So here it is. Keenan Hudson, Miss Christine Feggans, we're here. And we believe in the youth. For the youth.
For the youth.
Any last remarks, Miss Christine?
I want you to know I'm here. If you want to get in touch with me, you can call me at 267-303-3115. Again, that's 267-303-3115.
Miss Christine Feggans, she's a life coach.
Absolutely. For the youth.
For the youth. And we'll have flyers. If anybody needs any flyers, you can contact her or contact me. We'll get in contact with you that you can be able to make contact with her and consult, because she's a consultant. She's a life coach. Like I said, she's involved with a lot of things.
Yes.
She's in a lot of entities. And I definitely encourage you guys to reach out to her. I appreciate it. Keena Hudson, and I believe in the youth.
Believe in the youth. Christine Feggans.
Thank you.
Thank you.